Hey everyone, welcome to the District of Brown Deer School Board meeting. I call this meeting to order at 6:04 p.m. Verification of public notice. The meeting was publicly noticed. Verification of a quorum. We have all 7 board members in attendance this evening. Approval of the agenda. Would someone like to make a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda, with flexibility, using 5H.
Thank you very much. Motion has been made with the following change. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you very much, Ms. Walker. Motion is made and seconded. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, will raise hand and or aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Motion carries unanimously 7-0. In the reading of our vision and mission statement, our vision is to provide a rigorous education that empowers our students to confidently navigate in our ever-changing world. And our mission is through the lens of excellence, equity, and engagement. We are dedicated to empowering every student with the essential skills to build a foundation for lifelong learning. All right, let's go on to our next order is our district communication.
Yes, first item this evening actually is we have an approval request for the board this evening. We have online, I believe, Ms. Franny Robinson, who is the vice president of the Brown Deer Community Foundation, who would like to present a donation to the district. So if Ms. Robinson is on and wants to unmute, she can take it away.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
We are going to turn up the volume a little bit and I will hold this here. So you speak really loud, madam. So
Okay, can you hear me? I hope you can hear me a little bit better now.
you bet. You're great.
Okay,
You're
good.
great.
So, thank you for inviting me to today's call. My name is Franny Robinson. Like you said, I am the vice president of the Brown Deer Community Foundation. And a couple of years ago, we did host a car show. And so we donated a total of $1,071, the proceeds from that event to the Brown Deer High School with the intent to help the students in need to help offset those driver's education courses. So I did drop that check off today to the district. Kevin, I believe you saw an email come through, but I didn't get a chance to read it yet.
Yep.
Okay. Or maybe I did read it. I don't know. Today's been a blur. But just wanted to let you all know that you can use those funds. As I did speak with, and I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. I spoke with
Brown, probably.
Yes. Who did advise that I think last year there were some donations that they were able to use to offset the costs for those students in need at the high school.
Thank
Any
you very much, Ms.
questions?
Robinson.
Good, thank you.
Let's go on to our next.
Go ahead, make it approve it. Yeah, go ahead and approve it. Officially approve the donation of.
Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the donation from the Brown Deer Community Foundation as presented.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Walker. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much, Ms. Macon. Motion is made and seconded. Any discussion? Outside of thank you so much, we really appreciate it.
You are most welcome.
All in favor, raise hand and or aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing and seeing none, motion carries unanimously 7-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Have a
Thank you, everyone. Good evening.
support of the district.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, let's go on to our next item. Is item B, our district administrators report.
Got a little bit of a PowerPoint that's gonna loop and play while I speak. Board of Education, Patrice Scott and Proud Superintendent for the School District of Brown Deer. The month of September has been filled with a flurry of activities that helps staff usher in the new school year. We kicked off the year with our Day 1 celebration down at Brown Deer Elementary School. Students were treated like rock stars as they walked the black and gold carpet into the building. Our own band, varsity cheerleaders, members of the board, community members, and district staff were positioned along the carpet to cheer our youngest learners into a new school year using noisemakers, cowbells, and pom-poms. These items were used to electrify the morning and made the students feel welcome. I personally wanted to thank parents, staff, building, and district administration, local law enforcement, school board members, and community members who were able to join us for this terrific event. And also a special shout out to the PTC, Mr. Brownfield, who orchestrated the band, Ms. Oglesby with the cheerleaders, Mr. Griffin, and the BDP staff for all of their assistance in making our students feel welcome and loved. The youngsters were not the only ones who received welcomes. Our Brown Deer Middle School and high school students were also welcomed with faculty lining the halls, cheering them on, and holding signs as they started their first day. Students were eager to high five their favorite teacher, compare class schedules, and say hello to their friends in the home. One of the special events that kicked off the school year was Grandparents Week. The BDE welcomed over 75 of our beloved grandmothers, grandfathers, nanas, papas, and big mamas into our school environment. Believe me, grandparents were the star of the show the week of September 9th and helped bring in loads of smiles and good energies to many of our classrooms by reading a book with students or participating in fun-filled activities with their own grandchild or those they adopted for the day. Grandparents were able to have lunch and a sweet treat with their grandchild. The book Grandmas Are the Best was given to every student. I would like to thank all grandparents who were able to come and spend some time with their grandchildren. And we look forward to hosting you again in the next school year. Over 300 individuals signed up to participate in this year's Color Run event. This event provided loads of colorful fun and family fun and promotes a healthy lifestyle as participants are sprayed with colored chalk at various stations around the BDE. Shout out again to the PTC for organizing this event, and if you look at the park, you'll see some pictures of it up there. Brown Deer Falcons have been very busy balancing their student athletic life together. We have had several sporting events occurring in the district from tennis, swimming, and soccer matches, and of course, our varsity football team for giving us exciting Friday night light highlights. I appreciate all of our student athletes for your sportsmanship on and off the field, as well as your school spirit. I encourage all staff and students to come out and support our teams. The third Friday of the month of September is critical to district funding. The elementary and middle school scheduled fun activities to ensure our students were in attendance on count day. Students in the elementary had the pleasure of participating in popsicles, popcorn, and play, where they were enjoyed by all of them at the elementary school on Friday, September 20th. Middle school students were able to show off their athletic ability in a good old-fashioned game of kickball. Overall, I would like to thank all staff who made learning exciting for our students, not just on count day, but for every day. Finally, our high school students were able to witness a historical figure in their midst as the Reverend Jesse Jackson and Rainbow Push Coalition came to speak to our students about the importance of voting. I would like to thank State Representative Lakeisha Myers for providing this awesome experience for our students, and a shout out for all board members and Senator Dora Drake for finding time in your busy schedules to come out and support our students with your presence. And then also another special shout out to our super seniors, Ava Stokes and Morgan Staples, for being camera ready and sharing their thoughts with the media according to this event. That concludes my report.
All right. Seems as though that you had a very eventful month so far. All right, does anyone have any questions for Dr. Cotton?
That was just.
That's what I'm saying, like, look, it's been very, very eventful in field.
Yes.
It's the popsicle, popcorn,
And
Play.
Because they
There's
got an
3
extra
teams.
recess.
for me.
Mhm.
Right.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Cotton. We really appreciate that update and us being able to hear that. So our next item. All right, there's our public comments. Now, any individual? Huh? Oh, TC, forgot, I'm sorry about that. All right. Our next item is actually going to be discussion on approval of the Donnybrook Wrestling invitation. So, Mr.
Hey.
Gregory.
Hello, board. Tonight I brought with me, Coach Swaggy, head football and wrestling coach, and then I have 3 of our, young student athletes, James Ross, AJ Strong, and Cole.
Got it right.
And so they wanna, speak a little bit as to why, we're here to ask for approval to go to this out of town wrestling tournament, I believe in December. I don't know which one is taking the lead, but I'll let you.
Can I say something before they
Go right ahead.
Our wrestling program has grown, since I've been here about 7 years.
Coach Patty, could you bring them like right there in between, Mr. Clemick and, Ms. Bacon, please? Yeah.
Okay.
That's all right.
So, we started this program 7 years ago, and when we started with just 3 wrestlers. And we have built, just within the last year, our program has gone from, not having a very good record to now we are conference champions. These are the guys that are, you know, building the program. AJ, that was when he was a freshman, he came in, and, I told him, AJ, if you sign up for wrestling, we're gonna make you a state champion, right? So he wrestled this summer, and, he wrestled at a national event. And he did very good, within 30 wrestlers in his weight class, he did very good,
Excellent.
so, AJ, go ahead.
Yeah, I like to kind of add to that. Not only have we grown as a team, but we've grown as a family. So having this opportunity to just kind of bond going to Iowa, because we've gone to other kind of far events, like we went to Oshkosh last year. That was a good bonding moment for the team. And I feel like if we go to Iowa, you know, that team chemistry really builds up. To kind of add on to what Coach Gladney said, when I was a freshman, we didn't really have a varsity team. We were actually strictly JV. We only went to JV tournaments. The only kind of varsity, you know, like competition we had were duels. And like you said, we weren't very successful. But now we have 2 All-Americans in our 126, Maximus Hay, and our 285, Kai Rogers. One being number 2 in the 2 in the country, and one being number 8 in the country. And to the rest of the team, you know, Cole, sectional qualifier, James, regional qualifier, me, I was a state qualifier. So I feel like our competitiveness is really good, and I feel like we can compete with the other teams in Iowa. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just feel like as a team, we want to go see how competitive we are with other teams, different states.
Are you a senior this year?
Yes, I am a senior this year.
All right. So you come, everything's coming to fruition then, huh?
And some, even more beyond our dreams now. You know, and Iowa is like the, bedrock of, wrestling. Iowa Hawkeyes, and, you know, they've had a history with, if you know Dan Gable is an Olympic, Iowa State, Iowa coach, historic. So that state alone, going there and wrestling is a huge step for this program.
And I would just like to add, just like AJ said, the experiences. So there's even more education that they're gonna get to see by traveling, experiencing other teams and schools. And AJ, just seeing the growth in AJ from the time he was a freshman to where he is now as a senior, James Ross, Cole, and you get to know the boys as an AD. It's awesome because you get to see him as a freshman, and then you get to see him knocking on the door to become young men and young women. And AJ has grown so much, you know, in leadership. James is the captain on the football team, you know, so I think this just adds to that experience, and that'll give approval for them to get this awesome opportunity that's before them.
Gentlemen, any other 2 wrestlers, you have anything you want to say? Man, a few words, but big action. All
I feel
right.
like going to Iowa could also benefit the school in general. And as Coach Gladney preaches about, is building the youth that could bring in more eyes into Brown Deer, which could build a foundation for the youth, which could keep the program going.
All right. So, in looking at this, Coach Patty, are you just asking for $1,000? Because I see there's about approximately $500 for gas,
Yes.
$500 for entry fee. What about feeding these young men, and is there anything about housing? Do we need to pay for them for a hotel stay, or is this overnight? I mean,
Well, what we've been doing in the past is we have been fundraising. We fundraise for just about everything that we do. This opportunity and getting into Donnybrook is very tough to get in a program like that. or getting a tournament like that. So the money that we've been fundraising for is for lodging, for, you know, food and things like that. I know that, Gerald has been working to try to get us some additional funds. That's why we're here. But whatever we can, get that's gonna help us, and relieve some of the tension that the kids have to go through with fundraising and things like that will help.
So is all that's left 1,000, or is that just what you're asking?
Just ask for 1,000,
Yeah.
because I know that they've been fundraising. And so
How
what,
much is left?
Yeah. I mean, what would it cost if they didn't fundraise? Let's just say we didn't, God forbid, we didn't meet the fundraising goal. What do you need?
Okay. That's a good question because we go with 14 kids, that's our starting lineup, and then we have 4 coaches.
Okay.
So, if you look at, we only try to put 2 kids in a room at a time. And 2 coaches in a room at a time. Usually, where we're going, the average cost of a hotel, we're looking at like maybe, $180.
How many nights?
And like, yeah, it would be, Thursday night, Friday night, and we'd leave, Saturday at.
So 2
Saturday.
nights, so 2 night
Saturday
hotel
night.
stay,
Yes,
280, and you got, 7, 8,
about
9 rooms?
it would be 9 rooms, yeah.
9 rooms, 280.
300, that's 2,700, 1,000, 3,700. And then,
I mean, I'm happy to hear that they're fundraising, but, I feel like $1,000 is reasonable, but how does more then translate to other teams that are in the same situation, right? Because if we are, giving money to the wrestling team, then what about other teams, the bowling team? They're gonna go somewhere, what about other teams?
They decide they need to come to it.
Right, but
That's it. Only, I think the biggest thing is Walker, and I understand where you're coming from. I think when we have our young people are able to do events and stuff like that's of this magnitude or whatever, I think that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on, being able to expose our young people to different activities and different things or whatever. And looking at this thing or whatever have you, we've got some All-Americans and the whole nine. So, an opportunity like this is essentially once in a lifetime. So again, I know that they've been trying to fundraise and everything else like that. My biggest question, and probably Ms. Robinson, was you asked for $1,000, but we know that that's not gonna be enough to do what we need to do and everything and stuff. So just kind of looking for a roundabout dollar amount that you potentially may need from us for us to be able to approve, and being able to do it.
And just particularly because, like, if you say we've been fundraising, we needed 2,700, we already got 3,000, all right, cool. But I wouldn't want you to have to come back in a couple weeks because you didn't get it. So
Well,
that's why I
just-
just wanted to understand.
Just to qualify though, the primary thing of what you're approving is the permission for them to go overnight on an overnight trip. There are, we move funds all the time in the athletic department to and from athletics, so I don't want you to get hung up on $1,000 or $2,000 as a piece. I think the larger issue is that you're supporting the trip in general.
And then whatever else they
We
potentially may
will
need.
certainly work with them to work out the details
Okay.
of what that.
Thank you, but the way the executive summary read, it just said like they need 500, 500 for this and 500 for that, and hearing this right here, we just kind of wanted to hear what the ask potentially, or the approval may need to be outside of just approving them to be able to come. If there's a dollar amount that we needed to do.
I just have some other questions. So the van would be for the wrestlers, would your families be coming, and then you wouldn't be staying with them? I was just wondering.
No, the bands would be for the wrestlers, and if there's a family that wanted to come, they would have to,
There's a
bring their own
But
transportation.
all the wrestlers would be staying together?
Yes.
And then I guess my other question is, of these 4 teachers, are they only the Brown Deer students then?
Yes.
Okay. So
Well,
could you say varsity or co-opy, so
they
that,
hold that because at the beginning, we know who the Brown Deer wrestlers are gonna be, but there might be, we had seniors that graduated. So there might be some open weight classes that we haven't been able to fill just yet. Okay, we might, it might be a competition because in wrestling, if there's an open weight class at the beginning of the year, whoever the best wrestler is in that weight class will get that spot. Okay, so, but we will have 14 wrestlers, so.
So are we just approving them to go, or the
What I
dollar amount,
need
Kevin,
is,
you guys work it out?
they'll work out those details. I just need for board approval, for them to go out of town. That's the last little piece that I need, so then I can solidify everything in that term. So I already got the approval from WIA.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, okay, so that answers another question I had. Okay.
What are the dates?
I think it's December sixth and seventh.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Any more information to be shared before we ask for a motion? Or any questions? I just don't like to make a motion.
I will make a motion to approve out of state, out of the Dan Gable Donnybrook Wrestling Invitational as presented.
Thank you very much, Ms. Robinson. Motion has been made. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and second. Any other further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise hand and or aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries unanimously. For our wrestling team to go to the Donnybrook.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go on to, okay, now we have public comments. As we know, Brown Deer residents, if anyone would like to make a comment, you need to state your name and your address. You have 3 minutes in order to be able to make your comment. Again, it's a comment and not a question, and it needs to pertain to, agenda item that we have. So do we have anyone in attendance that would like to, that has a public comment? All right, do we have anyone that is on the? As always, we'll give it another 30 seconds just to, see if somebody does pop on. And I hope those, young, and I wonder is that our one young lady wrestler, is she going as well too?
That's a good question. I don't have any, I know it's for both boys and girls.
Right,
How much I do know.
okay. Does anyone, who's ever monitoring the chat, does anyone see anybody? Okay, thank you very much. Let's go on to our next item of the consent agenda. Would someone like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Dr. Vigo, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda, including the minutes of August 12th, 2024, the special board meeting, August 13th, 2024, the special board meeting of August 27th, 2024, the regular board meeting, the schedule of voucher payments via ACH and wire transfers in the amount of $1,331,422.24, and the general checking account and the food service account, including funds 10, 21, 27, 39, 47, 49, 50, 72, and 80, and the September 24th, 2024 school safety drill update as presented tonight.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ashley. Motion has been made. Do we have a second? Thank you very much, Ms. Robinson. Motion has been made and second. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor, raise hand and or aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing and seeing none, motion carries 7-0. All right, let's go on to our next item, 5A, approval of new hires. Mr. Fleming?
We have no new hires.
Okay, well, let's go to item B, approval of resignation.
We do have a couple of resignations. We have 2 teachers, special education teachers at the elementary school, Laverne Dillard, whose last day will be this Friday, and Stephen Brinker, whose last day will be October 2nd.
Okay, would someone like to make a motion to approve the resignation of Laverne Dillard?
Oh, one question for the motion. Is it October 7th and not September 23rd?
The submitted date was September 23rd. Yeah, the last day, the effective date, for Mr. Brinker would be, October 7th. And Ms. Dillard was, September 27th. September 27th is Friday.
All right, so I'd like to make a motion for Laverne Dillard.
Motion to approve the resignation of Laverne Dillard as a elementary school public safety teacher, effective September 27th. In the receipt of liquidated damages.
All right, thank you very much as well. So motion has been made. Do we have a second?
Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Was made second, any discussion?
Did we get a letter from her, or do we have any other information you can share of how she?
Yeah, I think it's both.
For her?
It wasn't posted on. It's in the packet.
Okay, Laverne is, yeah, see, yeah, I see it, didn't really say why. Just for, due to personal financial.
She's only been here a few weeks. So
Yeah.
that's correct.
Right, so. All right. Okay, a motion has been made, all in favor, raise hand and or aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing and seeing none, motion carries 7-0 for the resignation of Laverne Dillard. And now let's go on to the resignation of Stephen Brinkley.
I make a motion to approve the resignation of Stephen Brinker as an elementary school special education teacher effective October 7th, 2024.
All right, a motion has been made. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. Motion is made second. Any other discussion?
And I usually, when I note those, it's people I'm still working with, then I'll have to do it, but if I get them, then I.
Any other questions? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor will raise hand and or aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing and seeing none, motion carries unanimously 7-0 for resignation of Stephen Brinkler. And as we always say, once a Falcon, always a Falcon. We wish them well on their future endeavors. All right, let's go on to our next item is our enrollment update. Dr. Cotton.
Tonight, I would like to provide the board with preliminary numbers of students that are registered into the school district of Brownfield for the 24-25 school year. As of Friday, September 20th, the number of students in the district is 1,617 students. In the days to come, we will be working with all school communities to verify this number and the continued attendance of all these students. I would like to personally thank our new district registrar, Jenny Saylor, administrative assistant for Pupil services, Dakota Hilton, and all the secretarial staff in all of the buildings. Ms. Davis, Ms. Baracanato, Ms. Clark, Ms. Shapiro, and Ms. Burnley for meeting with us and all of their hard work and assisting with this. Happy to answer any questions.
Board members.
1617.
Board members' questions. I know that that we budgeted was 1671. All right, so we've got things in place to be able to get to that number. I know. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Well, I know we, in some districts, they struggle with students who haven't shown up with the possibility for students who didn't show up, can still.
Well, the challenge is, so this is, the number will continue to rise as the year goes on, but the challenge is with the count piece is that you have to either be here on the count date, or you have to be here one day before and one day after. So if they have not attended yet, they will not come. So that's where we're just going through and verifying attendance. So even some of the folks that may be registered, they may have been registered, but maybe their first day was Monday, and so then they wouldn't count as well. But they will be part of our count in January going forward. So we'll see. It is a little below what we had projected. We're still working through open enrollment, so I don't know how that will offset the membership. Because resident membership isn't just the head count, it's also open enrollment out students. And so we'll have to see how those align and what that looks like. It probably will be a little bit lower revenue number than what we were anticipating.
So when will we know about the open enrollment?
Districts are still going through the approval process, so, we have to approve ours, and then, the resident district, the ones that we're bringing in, they have to get approved by the resident districts, and we have to go through the list of it. So, the report is due October 2nd. That's when DPI wants the numbers to be certified, and so, we'll be working over the next, 10 days to get that addressed. And some of that does rely on other districts, getting that information up to date. That's when they don't do that, that's that number that you see in the revenue little worksheet where we get the charge for students on the previous year, because they weren't on our count the previous September, but they were actually open enrollment students, and so then DPI gives you the exemption for the following. Doesn't help you this year, but it's so. So we'll see again, I won't probably have any additional information for Thursday, because the way, with the 20th as being the count date, it's like almost the latest they can possibly be with the third Friday. So, Kathy Kelser, our accountant who kind of runs the overall computation, will still be going through things, but we can certainly alert the board, before we certify this.
Right, so I'm just doing a real quick guesstimate in the relationship. So let's just say we're 60 students short of what we budgeted. So I just say 12,000, so about $720,000.
So again, you look at that, but then you.
I'm looking at the number and stuff, but I'm just
Right,
saying,
sure.
that question right there is.
Sure, but again, you also have to look at what the open enrollment out is, and then it's a 3-year average. So it's not the full amount, it will be average between the 2 previous years. So there could be a drop, but it won't be 60, I don't even think 20 is probably realistic, it'll be less than that, so. But we have to look and see, and then, again, if you hit certain thresholds, there are kind of stopgap measures that DPI has, that you can't move. If you have a declining enrollment, there are exemptions on a 1-year basis to prevent it from dropping too far in one particular case, so. As we get closer, like I said, once we start to really get that count number going, and I get to see the open enrollment piece as well, we'll have a better sense, and we can start to project what that revenue will look like.
Right, I guess the real reason why I'm bringing this up is I want the importance of everybody understanding that if we don't have our students, it affects our bottom line, it affects the budget. So just going ahead, just like I said before, doing preliminary math, 60, just minus 60 students at $12,000, $720,000, when we already look at our budget is really, really tight already. So I just want the board and administration to understand that, you know what, we've got to make sure that we've got plans in place to be able to get all of our students on board. I know that, there's a lot of transitism going from Brown Deer. You got new families moving in, you got people moving out. So we need to be able to have a system or something in place, procedure in place, to be able to make sure that those ones that we don't have, that we're getting out there and we're reaching them, showing them, maybe some of them may have not even come to the district and seen our wonderful facilities and everything else like that, that we're out there, we're actively recruiting, we're getting our students in here. We're talking about this wonderful program that we got, these wonderful facilities, our teachers and all the rest of these different things and stuff. So that we get all of our students in here and stuff, because as we know, we're getting ready to hit this financial potentially next year or whatever. And I think that we need to already be preparing ourselves from a budgetary standpoint on what that means and what we've got to do. So.
I mean, but it's also important to understand demographically that almost all districts are seeing declining enrollment just through the natural evolution of where birth rates are right now and where we are. So this is not unusual. We've been fortunate the last couple of years. And again, we still have a little bit of a trend up, so that may offset some of this. We'll have to see if this, and whether this is a 1-year blip or whether this is a trend or we're finding a new normal. That we don't know.
And I think I sent the board and administrator, there was an article that they talked about declining enrollments within school districts. And I think I shared that with the board, just specifically for this reason right here, that we're all cognizant, we all have a better understanding of the importance of this enrollment aspect.
Wisconsin is one of the first states in the country for it. So it's the highest.
All right, so thank you very much for that update. But again, we're in our 1600s, and of course, Dr. Cotton, I know you and your team are going to be working on that, and Mr. Clemick is going to be working it from a different angle. All right. Okay, sounds good. Is there anything else, Dr. Cotton, in relationship to the enrollment update? All right, thank you very much. Let's go to our item D, discussion and approval of Strive 365.
Tonight, we are seeking your approval for the developing of a memorandum of understanding with Strive 365. For the 24-25 school year, Strive 365 has been asked to work exclusively with our middle school students and work to assist in creating a resilient mindset through a healing-centered, trauma-informed program with all of our students in grades 6 through 8. Coaching and mentoring opportunities will assist our students in becoming more academically, emotionally, and socially sound. I'm pleased to have members of Strive 365, Mr. Tim Wilford and Dr. Paula Linsky here in the audience with us tonight. And we're ready to introduce you.
I know that in relationship to the conversation that I've had with Dr. Cotton about Strive 365 and this new way that we're ready to talk about going with our middle school students, our sixth to eighth graders. As we know, as a board, one of the things that we talked about was safety and our students, having some other avenues to be able to talk to people, some more, building opportunities for them, socially, emotionally and everything and stuff. So with Strive being able to work with those middle school students, we potentially, hopefully, will be able to see a decrease in certain behaviors once they get to the high school level and being able to do that and stuff, because what we did see was we had more of an uptick in our high school students for discipline issues and some other social emotional things that were going on. And so with this, being able to go with the middle schoolers and stuff, hopefully we'll be able to give those supports and resources to those young people prior to.
Dr. Hill, I just wanted to add, and they are definitely needed because we are seeing a little bit of an uptick in activity with our middle school students, even currently. And so, we'll be working to develop something with Strive to get them in here sooner than later. We're hoping for an October 7th start date, but we do have to work on continuously. We've been going back and forth with the MOU currently. We're just gonna work to flush that out. But middle school definitely is the target group right now that needs the most assistance from Strive.
Okay, let's go, Ms. Wells first and then Ms. Johnson.
So, thank you for joining us tonight. So my question is, would it just be the two of you providing service, or do you have a team providing service?
We have a team of program coaches, and one of them is our returning coach, Deron Moore, who's been in Brown Deer for the last 2 years, working exclusively with the middle school students last year. So we continue to also have a team of about 15 program coaches. And we also work to make sure we're serving both, having male and female coaches present, kind of serve the needs of our male and female students on campus.
And, what is the capacity? What's your maximum caseload in terms of how many students you can provide support to?
For our, for the MOU and programming, we're doing kind of two options. The first one is our peak team programming, which we conduct in the gym and PE time. And we work with, the PE gym classes for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And that's just being worked out with Dr. Cotton and Principal Washington. Based on when those gym PE times are. We have staffing capacity to have usually 2 coaches, sometimes 3 coaches, depending on the class size for PE. And then our second component is our Strive Time component, which is our mentoring program that Dr. Cotton mentioned. And as of right now, we conduct that one-on-one with just a coach and a student, and we make sure that we kind of either have our young male students working with a male coach and our young female students working with a female coach. But those numbers are to be decided by Principal Washington and Dr. Cotton and the leadership in terms of who are the students that are most in need or needing that extra layer or tier of support that our mentoring program can provide.
And so when you say, I'm sorry,
I was gonna say, in just preliminary, we've identified 9 students right now for that one-on-one coaching with them.
and so it's strictly coaching that you're handling, so is this curriculum based? Is this the programming we're using evidence-based, research-based?
Yep.
Same one.
Yep, yes. So our Strive Time is the mentoring program, that's curriculum based that we've tested at other schools in the greater Milwaukee area. Our P team curriculum, we just concluded our 2-year study here at Brown Deer, which followed a 2-year study of 5th graders to 9th graders, then 6th graders to 10th graders. And that was our evidence-based peak team activity, movement-based SEL curriculum that we have tested here at Brown Deer and a part of 3 other schools as a 1,600 student study that just wrapped up. So that's also evidence-based. We're currently having it be accredited through CASEL, the Collaboration of Academic SEL or Social Emotional Learning based out of Chicago. So it's currently under review for CASEL accreditation as well.
And then a couple more questions now.
Yeah, not even.
So then, as part of your curriculum, have a component that addresses AODA, and I'm thinking more specifically like.
There is not necessarily a specific component, but a lot of, for the mentoring components, that is more driven by questions and challenges that students either express or share with our coaches. Some of our coaches are more trained in managing that, since they have other backgrounds and skill sets, either in social work, in counseling, or in other, behavioral spaces, to address it, but it's not a specific component in either the curriculum.
And my final question is really about outcomes. So can you tell me this with, a lot of students stand for, because you all, you're returning for a second year.
So our,
District. I guess what I'm trying to get at is that what's your success rate in terms of working with students representing the challenges?
So our 2-year study just concluded this May, and in terms of the quantitative data, we're still in the process of analyzing that. However, internally, we have our own kind of metrics that we use as a pre-eval and a post-eval, and pulling from our own internal post-eval data. 88% of students who've kind of gone through our peak team program show increased self-awareness, ability to manage and regulate their emotions and behaviors then in certain situations. 75% of our students show increased connectedness and positive peer relationships among their peers and with their externally with their teachers and faculty members and staff in the school building. 69% of our students showed increase in positive decision-making and critical thinking skills. And also, just to run the numbers, 90% have greater self-awareness and social awareness.
Right.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I just wanted, clarity in terms of difference from previous years to this year, is that we're not including high school students this year? Is that the difference between the two?
Yes. I know last year, there was fraction of their work that dealt with high school and student athletes, but because of what we kind of got going on in the middle school, that's why I thought that when I met with them earlier, we should make middle school more focus.
So since it's during gym class, then essentially all the students get it.
Every last student in the middle school will, be exposed to this.
Right.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, last year, or was it, I think it was last year, we got a report that specifically talked about those measures that you brought up. I think it would be helpful, when you guys come in to see us about the programming, that you always bring that along, just so that we can kind of view it. So it's good that you brought it up, and it kind of clicked in my mind that we normally get a copy.
Right, and that's
So
right.
thank you.
And that was gonna be my question, because I remember seeing how many students you work with. There was a breakout in terms of grade level, in terms of the different, issues. I think there was some survey information that was just presented in the report form. And so, if we go down this road again next year, and you're in front of us, is that something that you can include, in our package?
Right, especially now since we're just doing the middle schoolers only or whatever, so I guess this is actually gonna be new demographic information.
Right.
Actually, because it's strictly middle school.
And I was just kind of, I'm sorry, one more question. And I was just kind of curious in terms of the numbers that you work with at the high school. And I know you did some work at the middle school, and I'm not sure how much of your resources went to the high school versus the middle school, but yeah, I think we got that report, you can see that.
Right.
So I guess my question, it works so well in the high school and you still have students going through it, do you just kind of just drop down and go to the middle school? So what are we doing to continue that work that you started in the high school? Since most of those children are, moving on to adulthood and into the community. So what are we doing with those children?
That have needs also.
I don't know if that's a stride question, I think that potentially could be more of a, Dr. Cotton,
Yeah.
Dr. Glass, Ms. Raymond's question.
So I hadn't even thought about that because I was really trying to focus on where, coming into the district where I understood, there was a lot of upheaval. And that's why when I spoke to them earlier, that I was moving the focus from the high school, really into the middle school. So I hadn't, in full honesty, that wasn't even something that I considered, but I can, because we're in the process of developing this MOU, maybe there's something that we can slide into. They still can have a touch point with high school students who have dealt with them previously before. So that is something that we can still can be up for consideration as we're continuing to develop this for this school year.
Yeah, I would think so, especially since I'm sure you guys had that top tier of students who you were servicing, but that wasn't a big number, right, in the high school?
So just those relationships are important, yeah, for me now.
Mr. Woodford, would that be, potentially could be an option? I know Strive is going to be stretched thin and stuff because they'll be touching on all 400 middle schoolers. Does the program have enough staffing to be able to potentially do the middle school and potentially hit some of our high school students that need some extra resources? Would that be something that Strive would be able to do, or, do we need to look at a different avenue for that?
Well, we would definitely wanna look at touching those seniors, and ironically, two of our coaches were up here today, to visit specifically because they know that we're focusing on the middle school this year, but they also wanna maintain the relationships, the phone calls, the contact. So as far as going into this semester, this year, we're certainly gonna work with Dr. Cotton to try to touch as many students as possible. Our team it will be pretty strict. We are adding some new accounts, this semester as well. Does that mean we hire new folks? That's a Strive challenge, but that's a good challenge. We don't mind that, but, we will do everything we can to touch, the seniors, the juniors that we've already got those relationships, because the one thing that Strive doesn't want to do is to helicopter in and helicopter out of these lives, because that's part of the trauma that these young people have already experienced. So we will work with Dr. Cotton to figure out how we can, maintain some contact.
And I was just thinking there is going to be opportunity, because if you remember on that, we got that coaching side with the 9, and maybe we can pair those high school schedules that when we're focusing on those the 9 middle schoolers who are getting that more intense coaching, maybe that's where the high schoolers come in too. So there's an opportunity there, but we'll have to just kind of flush out to see if we can do that.
Board members, any other questions? I guess the biggest thing for me would be is that I know that we approved for, was it $50,000, Dr. Cotton? I think we approved that before. Would we need to add more into this MOU if we were to have to go into the high school, like, Mr. Woodford said before, continue some of those relationships with those juniors and seniors? So would that MOU actually need to change, with the dollar amount need to change, because now you're going across not only the middle school, but back over into the high school as well?
It's, for us, Dr. Cotton, we made a commitment that first day, but as Dr. Curry, when he came in, our goal was to be here, and I'll be very open and honest. Dr. Cotton said, can we maintain the same cost, with that experience? We're gonna honor that, but we also wanna make sure we touch those, upperclassmen, if you will, so.
I think that's the only tweak that we really need to do to what we're trying to propose. How do we get those high schoolers who still want to be a part of Strive? How do we touch them? And there's a way to do that. But then, so thank you, Ms. Wilson.
Like within that same dollar amount, or do we? Okay, all right, thank you. All right, any other questions? All right, hearing seen none, all right, can someone make a motion to approve?
Dr. Vito, I'd
Well,
like,
I guess.
So can we approve something we haven't seen?
Did we see it early? Did we see it before there was a contract for $50,000?
For $50,000. That's what we have here. With some of the particulars in it are what we need to modify. That's what I'm saying. We're going to be approved for us to go through the development of the MOU for the Strive program up to the amount of $50,000.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So Dr. Vito, I'd like to make a motion to approve the MOU with Strive up to $50,000 for the 2024-25 school year, correct? Given consideration of, including the upperclassmen, for the high school.
you very much. Thank you very much for making that motion. Do I have a second? Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Ashton. I appreciate your diligence. All right. Motion's been made and seconded. Any other, discussion? All right. Hearing seen none, all in favor will raise hand and or aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries unanimously, 720. Strive, thank you very much for coming back and working with our young people, and we definitely want to be able to see those results and be able to maintain those relationships, so thank you very much. Have a good evening. You too. Thank you. All right, let's go on to our item E, our safety update. Mr. Russ?
Good evening, board. My safety update will be very brief. We are doing very well with our, 2 security guards for both Ms. Kimber and Mr. Thomas on first and second shift. We haven't had too many activities happening, so we're doing good. We're going to be, getting our, safety meeting back on track here now that school in third week and all this is all done. We'll be getting back on track with our safety security people and, getting ready to do some of the drills that we need to have done. We do get our, fire drills that are currently done monthly, so we're up to date on that. But I would like to, before it gets too late in the season, get, our, lockdown drill done, so.
Man, I got a question for you, because when I'm looking at this, I'm looking at the pie charts or whatever, and then there's like a section in each one of them for the, evacuation, for the elementary school and the middle high school, but I don't see anything for, like the shelter or the lockdowns or whatever. What does the green mean? Means that you've completed one, or what is?
Yeah,
I'm trying to understand.
Kevin
what is
can,
it?
I can take, we're transitioning, this is something that Maria Hoppy did, and now, Tiffany, will be handling it, but I did it in the meanwhile, because I was doing it before. So when we have established, the number of drills. For fire, it's once a month. The other ones are either annually or they're annual. So there's one, shelter drill, the tornado drill is required every year in April at the minimum. And then we have 2 lockdown drills we have to do. So they're not assigned to a specific month. So the pie chart is just basically a circle at this point. But the fire drills have been done we're under compliance for the 24-25 school year thus far. We did our drills in July, which were for summer school. We don't have to do a drill in August, because there are no students here. And then, middle high school did their fire drill earlier this month. The elementary school has one planned for Friday this week. And then they will be, live for September. So anybody who's listening, they'll know that's coming. And then we'll be good then, for September.
Right, yeah, because like I said before, the only thing that caught me was the green fill in and stuff on the pie chart, and I didn't understand.
Green means that
one
we're
had been
compliant.
done, or?
Yeah. Green is compliant. If it's gray, it hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
Green is compliant, red would be non-compliant, and then blue is an exception. So the month of August, like I said, month of August is considered an exception. It's an approved exception because we didn't do a drill. We don't have to do a drill that month. But I think it still comes in as green. I think it still makes it look.
There wasn't a key here to let you know what. So that was the reason why I asked the question.
And that's coming from our Raptor drill manager. So that's one way of presenting that data. We can, I know, certainly work with Tiffany as how we present that as part of the safety drill.
Okay. Sure, yeah, because I didn't know exactly what that meant, hence the reason I'm asking, like, what does the green shaded mean? Is it one done? Are we good? Or, I don't know.
We are compliant, and I did list in there the ones that we did, the drills that we did in, September, noted that those drills had been done, and that we didn't have any in August. We provided you an update in July, I believe, but not in August.
Okay. All right, that end of the safety update?
Yes, sir.
Well, I do have a question. Is everything taken care of when we did all of the concrete work and that piping and electrical and all of that out there in that back parking lot?
Yes.
So all that's taken care of?
Correct.
All right, did we ever figure out about the transformers and stuff that we currently own? Or what, have we gotten that figured out?
We are currently just waiting on We Energies to, put everything back in service, and then, Peeper Electric will be reconnecting everything.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, board members,
A quick comment regarding public safety. Cross off to the crossing guards. I come down 60th now every morning. One of them's walking there and back each direction in the morning and evening, and they're never late, so. They're always there waiting.
Oh, and they wait,
No, they do. yeah.
and they wait, everyone, you got,
Really.
hey,
Even though I saw one almost get hit on the first day of school. I'm like,
and people are just,
Yeah.
yeah, he just drove around him. I was like, don't you see these kids? Like,
and,
what?
and you know, the only thing that makes me upset about stuff like that, generally, it is not Brown Deer residents. Because we know better, they're our babies, so.
So, yeah, cross off.
I will let them know they are a great group.
All right, anything else? Mr. Ware? All right, let's go on to our, next item, our facilities update.
Facilities update, I just wanted to let the board know that as of right now, I only have really, 3 positions that are open, all of them are on second shift. I'm working with, Dr. Cotton and Trina Jackson to get those filled right now. We have 2 temps right now that are working the second shift that, are proving to be very, very good. So we may have those positions filled here rather sooner rather than later. I am currently looking for a second shift lead. I'm working with Dr. Cotton and, Trina Jackson on that one, to get someone in here that will, support us and our Brown Deer ways. And then after that, I'm going to be, asking for help from you guys here in a short minute, with the next agenda. But after that, we're pretty much going great. Sports is doing great. Our fields look great. We're preparing for winter. We're gonna have, 4 pallets of salt delivered for, the first chunk of this winter and see where we're at and go from there. And the next board meeting, I will be asking for approval for our snow removal company, through the RFP process. So, we'll be talking about that at the next board.
Questions, board members? All right. All right, let's go on to our next item, vehicle purchase.
That would be me.
All right, so yeah, I circled that one already. All right. Mr. Russ.
All right, good evening, board. I have some unfortunate news. Our, company pickup truck, has blown the engine. And that leads us kind of in grounds of needing to purchase a new vehicle. I am asking the board to approve, me to purchase a vehicle. I will ask the board for I've given you guys a high number and I've given you guys a low number. High number being about $61,000, a low number being about 47 is about the lowest I've found so far. In my search of trying to come up with a pickup truck that is worthwhile and, has good reviews.
So is this like for a brand new, 2024,
Well,
25?
the $60,000 would get us a brand new 2024 pickup truck with a plow attachment on it. For 45 or for $47,000, I can get us probably a 2020 with a plow attachment on it. The main purpose being that we definitely do need a plow attachment because we do plow our own driveways, sidewalks, and things like that. We do need a pickup truck for towing trailers and things like that, so it's a necessary evil.
I heard you say the truck is shot, but I didn't hear you say that the plow attachment is shot. Can you not reuse the plow attachment and put this on a?
The most transfers of, plow attachments, once they're on a truck, they pretty much rust on. So in order to get that, we would have to probably cut some pieces and then have to re-weld and things like that. And people really try to veer away from taking a plow off and putting the plow on. Not that we couldn't do that, but it's most likely that we would run into maybe a few problems, especially because our plow attachment right now is for a Chevy truck, and if we go to anything other than a Chevy that's right around that year, we could be looking at having to make modifications to it.
So how are you gonna determine if you're gonna do gently used or brand new?
Well, and that's where I'm, asking the board for an approval up to, I would say that I'm going to do the best research right now. These are the two best, bottom of the lines versus the higher up. I went and took a look at both of these vehicles. The one from Badger Truck is an F-350, which is a lot more truck than our district really needs, but it is an affordable truck. And it comes with a decent plow. The truck was from Michigan. It was actually from a Ford plant out in Michigan that they transferred over here to, sell here in Wisconsin. And then the one that was from Hiller Ford was their actual plow truck on their lot from last year. So that one was very gently used.
I have a question, kind of like a three-part question.
Mhm.
So the truck that we have, is it worth in itself a new engine, the body and all of
No.
that?
2009. So
then-
basically, we got about,
And how many?
we got some nice years out of it. So, yeah.
That's a good-
Yeah, she gotta go. Yeah, she gotta go. Thank you.
So my
Thank you,
next
Steve, for all the
question
for all the memories.
If longevity out of the new truck,
Correct.
which truck would give us the longest amount of years to use the equipment before like a replacement?
Yeah, it really depends on how much wear and tear we actually do. I would say the benefit of having a brand new truck would be the maintenance that could be acquired with the purchase of a new vehicle. Having, knowing that, that there's most likely gonna be a maintenance agreement with the dealership that we buy it from, where buying a slightly gently used, we probably won't have the type of warranty dash maintenance program that we would have from purchasing a brand new vehicle.
So I'm actually looking it up right now, so cause I know the 350 is too much, but the 250 might be that F-250 might be that sweet spot for us.
Correct.
Starting out at, 2024, starting at 46,965, up to 68. So I guess, I'm just pulling something up, or just pulling up a
Yeah,
couple of these.
I did, with Hiller Ford's,
And that's the one,
yeah, with Hiller Fords, they actually gave us a little bit of a price break. We could buy a brand new truck that has 370, I think it was like 371 miles on it. And we could buy it for 58 and some change.
But that's just the truck, we still got.
No, that's the truck and plow.
That's what the plow.
Oh.
That's truck and plow. And they gave all the information as far as how much the plow costs and all that other stuff attached to the document, so that we have all the information. Right now, anyone who is, who's passed our, driving records and the physicals. So basically, our grounds guy, I know I am, my assistant is, and there's only one other person that is on my crew that it's allowed to drive that pickup truck.
I guess my other question is, and I don't know, this might just be like my own technology problem, maybe Kara can answer, but when I went into Board Docs and I tried to like click on these, it took me to like a Google site that I couldn't open or something, and so
That
that might
was
be my
probably my
technology. Normally, like I see it on a little and I click on it and it's right there. I don't know if that makes sense.
That might be my fault.
Okay, well, I couldn't look at either one of these because I couldn't open their tab.
I do apologize, I will.
Then that's okay. My other question was for Kevin. Is this something that we just pay for outright, or do we do some kind of financing, or what were you thinking about how we could buy the truck?
We can certainly review that. Obviously, it's not a planned expense for this year.
Right.
It's on the capital list.
I do believe it was.
If it is on the capital list, I mean, we could pull out a 146 if we need to. We can certainly look at that. I guess we were trying to figure out, where the board's appetite was, if it was, if you really wanted requirement to actually get tank leaks. So, you know, the generally used, vehicle, if that's the option, we can certainly look to see what potential financing would be available, or again, we have a $1.3 million, you know, surplus that you're, you know, getting access to this year, so if we decide just to, you know, I hate to keep saying add to the deficit, but if it's just part of what we do this year to pay it, and then we save on the spot going forward.
Well, I mean, basically, it's maybe 10 to 15,000 difference to buy the new one, and if we got 15 years on about the other new one, then it would probably make more sense just to buy that new one that you talk about for 58,000, or 320,000 miles on it.
Start of 23, F-250, four-wheel drive, 46.9, with 4,000 miles on it. But again, though, I guess for us, we just need to be able to talk about a range. We'll let them worry about getting it or whatever have you and stuff. So, with the motion, when we want the motion, do we want to add a dollar amount, a range in here, or, because I just don't want to have it open ended.
Oh, no, got it. Yeah, no.
So if we said, so if we did say up to 62,000,
Yeah, I mean, if you say that's the max out, that's the max amount.
No, you guys
that you guys would like us to spend on a district vehicle, then that's the top dollar that we will do, and we'll do our due diligence to not get that high.
Yeah, because that Hillary one is only 58, so.
right, well, then once you throw taxes in and stuff like that or whatever.
Well, we're tax exempt.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about like the title stuff.
No,
You gotta add all that stuff in
includes
there.
the title.
Okay, so again, so the motion would be,
But giving us a little leeway.
up to $62,000. Okay, so I think Sharonda, you're making the motion?
Yes. I'd like to make a motion to approve the district purchase of a new pickup truck with a plow attachment up to $62,000.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Barrington. Motion has been made. Do we have a second?
Come on, Lisa.
Okay, all right, was it Lisa? Okay. Seconded by Ms. Walker. Any discussion? Can you see that? All in favor will raise hand and our aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You can see that motion carries unanimously 7-0. So, Mr. Rush, you got up to $62,000.
Thank you, board.
All right. All right, let's go on to our next item. Oh. Hey, I asked that before. I asked that question the other day. I was like, hey, you sure we can? Ain't nothing going on and stuff we can do like from the food program?
We need to move
Us-
We grow,
Yeah.
some lettuce in the back.
Yeah, you know, some bread, you know. In the bag, yeah, you know, hey, we drive our fresh fruits and vegetables all to the village. All right, so let's go on to our next item, item 6, board reports, SWANS, SA legislative update. I'm going to let you know that I really haven't paid any attention, for this month, so I apologize, I will give an update next month. There's been too much else going on. All right, WASB update.
Took a look at, their website, and I think that there's some, I think there is a video update, a September video update that I think is really something we should, probably kind of listen to. One of the items that they cover is referendum and advocacy work, the do's and don'ts around referendum. Act 20, early literacy resources, school board elections that are coming up. And, yeah, so that was, to me, probably the thing that I'd like to see with all of us.
Wasn't the day for one of them the 25th? Because I remember getting the updates and stuff, and I think one of them started, so I thought it was the 25th of September.
So this one that I listened to today was the September video update, and it was all of the different, it was the one big one centered
Okay.
on the referendum,
Okay.
the Act 20, and there was a couple of other, matters that got discussed. That's not to say that there wasn't one.
I got something in the mail or whatever, from WASB or whatever, with, training modules, and I think there was a professional development training or something that was going on, and I thought it was the 25th of September. So,
This one is reviewing employees and is.
okay, all right, thank you very much. All right, Ed Foundation.
We have not met yet. We have a meeting scheduled coming up.
All right, thank you. Parks and Rec.
We have not had a meeting since my last update. We have a meeting next Tuesday, which is October 1st. I'm unable to attend this meeting after, would anybody else be able to come, go to it? It's next Tuesday, October 1st at 6 p.m. at the DPW conference room, so right next door to the police station.
October 1st.
At 6, yeah, I'm going to the Virgin. I have got playoff tickets, and that's gonna be the first night. Okay, now what is it? It's a park and rec meeting next Tuesday at 6. We're trying to find a person that needs to go to it. And what time? 6 p.m.
Ms. Macon, will you be able to fill in? Because you're already writing it in. Well, thank you very much, Ms. Macon. Ms. Macon will be able to attend that meeting for you, Ms. Walker. Thank you so much. See, that's how gracious our board is.
It's
Park and Rec.
Oh, right, I know, okay. It's 6 p.m., yeah, I'll get it.
And it's at that room over there?
Yeah, I'll send you the agenda. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much.
They're not gonna ask me any questions.
And it's just, you can just give an update on what's going on in the school board, that's all that, when it comes to us, that's it. I just take notes and give it out. Whatever happens. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, our item number 7 is our board planning calendar. The 26th is our budget hearing and annual meeting at 6 p.m. Board members, if you can, please attend if you're able to. Very important thing for us and one of our major duties as a board, is the annual meeting. And Mr. Clement will be throwing some numbers around. All right, then on October 4th is our PD day, so no school. Dr. Glass, what are we gonna be doing? Is it gonna be some high level PD that day?
Okay, so from 8 to 10, for grades K 4 through 3rd grade, they'll go through a 2-hour training for AIM Plus, which is our new progress monitoring tool that's mandated through the state for X20. Parallel to that, their 4th through 5th grade or 4th through 12th grade team will actually go through cultural humility training, which is a self-bias analysis training that will help teachers to look at their personal biases and how it impacts their teaching every day. The latter part of our training, which will be from 10:45 to 12:15, will focus on math for the grades who have already completed it. And so we'll do a data analysis. It'll serve as a baseline assessment. We will take those needs that students have, align them throughout the curriculum, and then set forth planning. Sandwiched in there between 10:15 to about 10:45, we will go over our strategic plan, just to reintroduce the staff to what we have committed to with our goals and how it aligns with our daily work.
All right, thank you very much. Ms. Rivers, so anything that you're gonna be doing with your team? Will they
Yes,
be doing it?
special ed teachers will be introduced to a platform to help them solidify their IEP writing and include more specially designed instruction, how we can align it to grade level standards so that we're closing that gap. Schoolbook. And that's our hackish training in the afternoon.
I'm intrigued with the self-biases training. I think that's, I want to really learn about that myself. I think that's going to be phenomenal. So that's included in Act 20? Or was that something you were using before?
It's separate. There are 2 separate things. The AIMS Web Plus is the Act 20 training as a progress monitoring tool. And then the biases is a separate training that's being done by our specialist, our literacy specialist, Dr. Tracy.
Dr. Tracy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right, so our PD day is set. Good job. All right, October 4th, on that same day is the Hall of Fame game. SDBD at 7 o'clock. October 8th is our special board meeting. The 16th, parent teacher conferences in person. The 16th, also, we have the joint Village of Brown Deer and district meeting. The 17th, parent conferences, which is virtual. The 18th, no school. And the 18th is our home game against Watertown Luther Prep at 7 o'clock. So board members, if we can get to the game, please do. Did everybody get their athletic card?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so we have athletic cards now, so we get to go to all of the events. All right. On the 19th is the homecoming dance, and on the 22nd, our regular board meeting. All right.
And we'll see everyone on Thursday.
Yes, we will, well, like I said before, about the annual meeting, hope to see all board members if you're able to. So with that being said, would somebody like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll keep that motion. To adjourn the meeting tonight.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Ashley. Motion is made, do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much, Ms. Spanky. Motion made and second. All in favor will raise hand and or aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing and seeing none, I call this meeting adjourned at 7:19 PM. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy days to hear information for the District of Brown Deer. Have a wonderful evening. And go Brewers and Packers.